Hello and welcome to a quick review of the early access version of the My Time at Sandrock, which obviously is the sequel to the My Time at Porsche by Pathea games. So if you played Porsche, you'll know what this game is all about. If you haven't played Porsche, My Time at Sandrock is basically similar to Stardew Valley or Harvest Moon, but instead of building a farm, you are a builder who builds all kinds of things. You also do kind of a little bit of farming, a little bit of animals and all that stuff that you do in Harvest Moons and so on, but the focus is much more on building. And this is the sequel to Porsche, and it's pretty much, if you played Porsche, it is basically exactly the same, but like every aspect of the game has been polished and improved. From graphics to combat to everything. And one of the new big things in Sandrock is the multiplayer, which isn't actually in the game yet. So at the launch of the early access, the multiplayer is not in yet. There is a multiplayer preview, but it is actually not in there. And Pathea Games has posted on the Steam page that the multiplayer will be tested towards the end of the year, and then by the end of the year the multiplayer should be in the game. So if you're looking to co-op this game with a friend or something, as I might want to do at some point, the multiplayer isn't in yet. But what is in it currently is actually pretty fantastic, and there seems to be quite a lot of content. So let's just jump into my current save, which is not super far yet, but I have done a lot of things, and there is still, I heard from a friend that there is a lot to do. So this is my character. There's a character creator at the beginning. You can make your character look exactly the you want. Has panda eyes because I stayed up too late, as usual. They actually get pretty black panda eyes. This is your initial house. I have a little bit of decoration on the walls, which is actually a really cool feature in this compared to many other similar games. The items in your house actually give you stats, and I really appreciate that. It makes, while it's really fun to decorate your house in many games, I would probably do it in a different type of game like Sims than decorate house a lot more. But in this, putting decorations in your house actually gives you meaningful stats like hit points and damage and so on. So it actually incentivizes adding those. So let's go outside and I'll do a quick run through around the area here. So Sandrock instead of Porsche is a very deserty, almost Wild Westy kind of looking area. I guess we are getting a cutscene, it seems. And as you can see, early access version does not represent the final quality. There is definitely some bugs and issues still in the game. Oh yeah, you get to see a quick cutscene. And you can definitely see the Wild West lot more deserty theme in this compared to Porsche from this immediately.
It's in the back. I'll go.
Everybody hands up. Nobody move. Hey now, hands up. No funny business.
Just skip rest of the cutscene for now. So that's the train there. Goes past the town, and there's the Sandrock itself, the town with all the shops and people, and this is my workshop here. So you start with a small yard area, and you have your assembly station, which is used to build like these bigger buildings. So instead of farming, you are a builder, and you get given commissions. For example, we had a commission to build a stage, so we had to assemble a stage, and then also there was a option to build the stage, the backdrop basically for the stage. This was the other option, because this is set up as a two-player game, because it's co-op, supposed to multiplayer. So sometimes the story gives you these mission options to build like one thing, and you get to choose which one you build, because if it's a multiplayer, then the other person is supposed to build the other one. But as I'm playing a single player, there is another character who basically takes the place of the other player and does the story stuff for you, with you. And I always appreciated in Porsche this is like a kind of like a scratchbook almost of like diagrams how to build things, and you see like the drying rack, you can actually see details of it and what it outputs and so on. But I also like these pictures, and then having this like a whole production chain of how you get to there, from like raw material to bars to sticks and so on. I always really like this kind of setup on this, and they did actually a really good job on this one. Also setting it on your like you can see the Sandrock commission there. So I have currently a stone slate as a objective to build and it shows that I need bricks for it. So it actually shows you like what you need to complete the order, which this is my current commission. This is just a random one that you take for getting money and reputation and so on. So it shows you what you need and then what you need to get the item that you need to give them. And it's a really well done system. And here's some of my work machines. So this works exactly as Porsche. You have like furnaces, for example. These are dew collectors, which is a new mechanic in this one. For example, furnaces here require fuel, which is actually really well done in this one as well. So you have your different fuel options, and you have your auto fuel here, and then you have like a bar here, and whatever you want to make in your furnace. And this is actually really well done. And also there's another really good quality of life here. It shows how many you have all of these, how many you need, and so on, and how many are needed. This is so actually you can see it here. So basically, how many I already own, how many you can make, and how many I'm required to make the current mission. So you can see it directly all from here, and it's really good system. And then you can have multiples of furnaces, like I have 2 in here. You can just make more with the assembly station and just fill your yard with multiples of them. And then you get some storage space, get some more machines. You can expand your yard. We'll take a look at that in a second, and your house and everything. And one of the new mechanics they also introduced in this one, kind of fitting the desert theme, there is actually a water requirement now. I think this is also partially as a limiting method for how many machines you can run at your yard, because especially when I played Porsche, my yard was just full of like 15 furnaces and all kinds of things, and just a massive production. So this will actually hamper your production and slow it down, so you can't have just a million of them, because you'll run out of water, which currently the production, at least the early game, is a little slow. I mean, you can of course make a bunch of these dew collectors that just collect you the dew, and then you use that to make the water. And then you just make more of those and more, and get some space. And you can also expand your yard here for more space. 1,000 golds. That's pretty expensive early game. Golds is the money in this game. But yeah, this is a new mechanic that will slow you down. The game is quite grindy, as was Porsche as well, and some of the progress is pretty slow because of the, well, firstly the material requirements, the fuel requirements, the water requirements, and then you're also limited by stamina early game. You can recover stamina by eating food at the restaurant, for example, or making food yourself, which I haven't really unlocked yet. But at least the food in the restaurant and how much money you have is pretty limiting how you can do it. So takes a little while to get going. And same on some of the materials, like wood is hard to come by in here. Obviously, it's not really growing. You're actually not allowed to cut trees in this one. It's against the law, and the police will come to get you. So you have this kind of scrounge, like there's for example here, there's some wood scrap that you pick up and gather, and you get a piece of wood, piece of stone. You get some rex, which is a fuel, and then you get sometimes like scrap, which you take into your scrapper into here, then and then it's recycles it for you. Alright, so there is combat in the game. There was combat in Porsche as well. The combat portion of Porsche was always, it was a little not that great, to be honest. But they definitely improved it. It's pretty anime combat this time around. So you have a dodge roll, basically, which was also in Porsche. And then you just slice and dice creatures. And also creatures have this, those dots, yellow dots under their name bar there. It's basically a break system, so once you break their defense like that, they take massive damage. And your goal is basically to do that on these enemies. These are fairly easy early enemies, so it's fairly easy to just smash them into pieces. And there's multiple enemies. You get leather and all kinds of animal parts like that. And then of course you can farm later as well. Alright, let's take a quick tour of places. So we're gonna avoid that event there, where everyone's standing. because we don't want to see that. We'll just go from here. See the town. So there is also research in the game, so that's how you unlock new things. There's also salvage yard over there where you do a little bit of mining. It's like this pre-generated mining area where you have to go down levels and mine. You find some CDs and all kinds of old parts and things from mining, and of course like metals and so on. And also you find museum pieces that you can take to the museum. There's Nemo, he's the town's dog. He's pretty cute. And there's also a cat called Captain, which is also pretty awesome. Here you can buy water. And you have lots of people living in the city. There's Breach, which is one of the dungeon type things, or mining type of things. And you have a lot of these villagers running out. This time, also, most of these are voiced.
Hello!
Except the random discussions, which give you a relationship bonus on them. You can also give them gifts, so you can play mini games with them, and there's also like a sparring system you can do with the adults, not with children. And that goes into the whole social system of the game. So there is the whole heart system that you build up a relationship with all the characters of the town. We have almost unlocked everything, especially the birdie. And it will eventually lead to like friendships and marriage and so on with some of the people. Not sure which ones are available, but there seems to be quite a lot of people in the town. There is also people who are not on this list, so these are like the key characters, but there is also additional people living in the city. So you can definitely marry some of these people. I guess it's the ones with the hearts instead of the stars. So multiple options. And while we're actually on this menu, we can also take a look at some of the other things. You have your character here, so this is all your stats and everything. So you have gear that gives you different stats, kind of RPGs style, hit points and defense and so on. You can change them here. I don't seem to have any extra ones on me, but all of them actually show up on your character, which is really cool. And yeah, basically that's the then your inventory here, and inventory is actually pretty surprisingly big. You can actually just use money and just spend quite a lot of money to expand your inventory. So I have 60 current. You start with a lot less. I spend most of my money pretty much to expand the inventory, because I know I'm a hoarder always in these games, and just having a million tons of items in my inventory, it's really appreciated. So really big inventory, which is nice. Then here's the map, which shows all the places, also what the kind of animals you can find in different areas for easier finding if you need to kill something, especially specific your fishing spots and so on. And also like if you could go research and so on. Here's your missions. So what currently is my missions. I only have the outstanding the commission for this mission, and you can track it and so on. You can also abandon it, which makes you lose a little of the reputation. Then you have the handbook, which shows the same stuff as in your construction thing. The social again. Then you have a calendar. So usually there's a few events like the Chase of Memories and Wishing Festival and so on. Not a lot of actually events in the first year at least, but there is also new ones that pop up as the story progresses. So this is not all of them, and also it doesn't show some of the things. Like there is a thing that happens every Wednesday and Friday, and it's not marked in any way. You just need to know it is there. But the story will tell you that it is there, basically, so you should know it. Then there's the knowledge system. So this is basically another way of progressing. So you have basically an experience level here, which gives you stats, but there is also knowledge system. So this is basically 4 different categories. There's gathering, workshop, combat, and social, and these increase as you do things. And they have their separate experience bar. So gathering obviously focus on getting more experience and more materials from mining and so on. Less stamina used and more max stamina and some. Anyways, like it's very self-explanatory. And workshop also same thing. This is when you craft stuff in your workshop. So for example, I went here with more experience from crafting items, and then I went water conservation to use less water, and there's also fuel and faster crafting and so on in this here. And then you have combat system as well. So there's more damage with melee weapons, more damage with range weapons, health, weapon-specific ones, and so on. And then you have social experience as well. So I went with more experience with the social from commissions, and then there's all kinds of social things, which will make if you wanna like increase the social stuff, focusing on a specific one might be a good idea if you wanna, for example, get the marriage going and so on. And then you have an album, which kind of has this like a story event pictures in here, like the cutscene we saw, and these are the things that happened during the story. And then we have Encyclopedia, which has all the items, equipment, furniture, and so on, and how you get them. So if you've seen them, you can find them here, and you can look at the information here, which is a really good system because having the information from like recycle junk pile and so on and so on. For example, I was looking for a salt, sea salt, one of the times, and it told me I was like, where do I get salt? Do I go kill a monster? Do I go buy it? So it tells you buy the stairs and Blue Moon to go. So these are both. This is a shop and this is a saloon in town. So it actually tells you where to get these once you've gotten them at least once. Also, even if you don't have them in here when you have gotten them, if you go to craft an item in your shop and it requires, for example, salt, which I didn't have yet, but you can see it in the crafting menu, the same information. So you can actually see there, like, okay, I need to craft this, but I haven't gotten it yet, so I don't know where to get it, but I can see it in the menu there, where to get it. And it's a really good system. When some of these are pretty obscure, sometimes, like, where do I get a fluorite, for example, until you get there. Then there's, of course, the system information here. So, we're in town. Let's jump to Construction Junction, which is the architecture place in town. So this allows you to customize your house and your yard, basically. There's an option here in the catalog. So this is my yard here, and you're gonna change your house to stone, wood. I imagine there's also more of these options. One later, you're gonna do horizontal roofs, triangular metal roofs. You can add some sunshades, like this is a sunshade here. We could move it or delete it or whatever we want. And it's gone now. But anyways. So you can edit, you can add chimneys, you can add colored lights, you can add lots of things to your house. These are all for just looks, so if you want to make a fancy house. You can also alter the shape of the house by editing the house. There's change appearance, change materials. You can destroy, change size, you can move the house. If you don't like the house being there, you can put it anywhere on your plot as long as you have the room. Especially once you have more room, it's easier to move it. So you can actually change this when you expand here. You can put the house wherever you feel like, and you can also move all these other things in here. But yeah, this is basically how you edit. You can also add more assembly stations. You're gonna get your chicken coops and barns and hutches and so on for animals from here. And this is basically how you edit your house. I wonder where the awning went. I need to find it later, I guess. It's somewhere in there. I may have stuck it inside the house. But yeah, this is how you edit your house. It's a lot more flexible system this time. In Porsche, it was basically just upgrade my house and it just became a bigger house and so on. And this time you can actually make it yourself from parts, which is really cool. And let's get out of here. But yeah, that's pretty much Porsche. It's a really nice. No, sorry, not Porsche. This is Sandrock. Well, it is Porsche as well. So it's a really nice take on the whole farm life simulator, where you farm things and get married and all other things. Instead of the farming, it takes to a building aspect, and it's a nice change of pace. And this one, especially, Porsche was really fun. I really enjoyed Porsche as it progressed through early access and then the final release, and it definitely got a lot better. From the early access to the end of the actual release, and this one is just better in every aspect, basically, from the get-go. And there's a lot of content, and I imagine as the early access progresses, some of the issues and more content gets introduced in the game, and the multiplayer And I can highly recommend this already as is for the fans of this type of games. And especially if you play Porsche, this is so much fun. I will be playing a bunch of this myself for sure. And this is the commission board as I was talking. So you get random commissions here, like they tell you, make me some hardwood planks, finish in 3 days, and they give you a little money, and you get a reputation in the town, or you get experience and money, and then the person's reputation. So if you're looking to marry, for example, someone, doing a lot of their tasks is a good idea. And there's also difficulty stars on them and so on. And sometimes you get special commissions which progress the story, or are for side missions as well. But yeah, this is Sandrock. I highly recommend spending some of your time in the Sandrock and checking it out. It is such a good game already. Like I was a little suspicious because I played a Porsche when it launched, and it was a little bit of a mess at the launch. So I was thinking I should wait for a Sandrock to be fully finished before playing it. But then I had an opportunity to play it immediately yesterday when it launched, and I'm really happy I took the opportunity, as I'm really enjoying the game. So, anyways, that's my quick look at the early access launch of the My Time at Porsche by Pathea Games. And if you like this quick review, check out all the other reviews and everything on the YouTube channel, and check out the live stream on twitch.tv/Bellonar, where I stream games like this, building management, strategy, a little bit of everything, during European evening times mostly. So, especially I will be playing this in the near future. So, come say hi, and I'll see you guys next time. So, bye bye.